Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and guys, I have not forgotten about NXIVM. Now, just so people understand, this is far from over. First of all, we have to have sentencing for Raniere and everybody besides Claire Bronfman that's been involved. So, over the last week and a half plus, there has been some news, and I'm probably going to focus in on the Richard Branson news, even though it's a little bit older. The new information comes from Frank Parlato, and Frank Parlato is basically the guy behind taking these guys down. You got to give credit where credit is due, through Art Voice, through the Frank Report, and he has a Niagara paper as well. He went balls to the wall against this organization, and that's not to look past the Times Union work, which is amazing. And that's why I think we're going to start with this Times Union story to delve into how NXIVM was very influential and was trying to blackmail people that they saw as enemies. And of course, the lawyers for NXIVM knew about what they were doing. I think it's James O'Hara is one of the lawyers against them. He was at the NXIVM symposium I covered all the way back in March, discussing a lot of this. But what's really interesting to me, it's not so much that, the politicians, the journalists, the culty programmers, and the defectors of the organization. It's when you get down towards the bottom and you start seeing Carlos Salinas' son, Emmanuel Salinas, in here. It's an extensive article. But during the end, you clearly see that he's in on it as well. This is the president's son. Let's just hit the Control F. Salinas. There he is right there. On July 6th, 2009, NXIVM official Emiliano Salinas emailed Raniere. NXIVM President Nancy Salzman, and by the way, we got some Salzman news. Salzman was trying to get her ankle bracelet released, really wants to go back to business as usual. There's reports out there that Allison Mack's wife, Nikki Klein, is currently running this organization. It's still going. Nancy Salzman and high-ranking NXIVM official Kristen Keefe to update them on legal projects he was involved in. Salinas, the son of former Mexican President Carlos Salinas de Gortari, mentioned the litigation against Albany attorney Joseph O'Hara. That was the person I was talking about. NXIVM defector Barbara Boucher. Barbara Boucher also spoke at the symposium. The entire symposium is available on my page, so if you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe. And just go to the NXIVM playlist. It's in there. Mentioned the litigation against Albany attorney Joseph O'Hara, NXIVM defector Barbara Boucher, and the cult tracker Ross. The lawyers are still trying to figure out how to legitimize the banking information we have in the Ross et al. Case in case we need our lawyers in Albany to present it, Salinas wrote. So in other words, let me lay this out for you. They had hacked them, gotten their banking information illegally. They're trying to legitimize it, even though, of course, through legalese, they try to say it was something else. And it outs them. And this is, again, this is the ex-president of Mexico's son. That's how deep this goes. So I'm going to just go into the next thing. And back in the day, it was reported that Richard Branson, his private island necker, he had rented it out. And this information was from Parlato, and that's him with Sarah Bronfman. Sarah Bronfman still currently out of the country. Okay. Remember, Claire Bronfman worked out a deal of 21 to 72 months and to pay $6 million in restitution. And again, guys, if she gets more than 27 months, she can appeal it. It's an abhorrent deal if you read the indictments against her. It's pretty crazy. So they keep going into Nancy Salzman. We're going to get to her in a moment. But this is extremely short article that basically says, yes, he partied on this thing, and, he denies ever meeting Keith Raniere. And I'm going to say this, there is no evidence that Keith was at this party because Parlato decided to dig it up and go deep on it. All right, because apparently on the worldethicalfoundation.org, Branson had an endorsement of this, and largely that was due to the Dalai Lama and the Bronfman sisters getting together, and they were trying to get together and put together this 4-day conference with Raniere, etc., etc. It didn't happen. What did happen is he came to Albany, and briefly Raniere went up on stage. But during the negotiations, a couple of times they rented Branson's Island. Branson appears to be there at least once, and so does an emissary of the Dalai Lama. I think they paid him $250,000 each. So listen, is there a chance he forgot about this? Maybe, but I would say, you know what, because Parlato writes a follow-up and says he's not likely to remember or care about NXIVM after this really extensive piece. It's actually not Parlato, it's just on his publication, so I always give him credit. This is one of his other ones. He'll always put an opposing voice out there. You got to respect that. That's always a good thing to do. But as you can see, the endorsement was right here. And here it is. The tools you have for compassionately dealing with complex ethical and global issues are not only unique, but also extremely valuable. This, along with a program of coordinated, organized resources, makes for an innovative approach to transforming our society. I think your founding event will be extraordinary and potentially world-changing. Sir Richard Branson, founder of the Virgin Group. And remember, this was him talking about the World Ethical Foundation, what they were trying to put together with the Dalai Lama. And we had at least 2 instances where he rented this island out to Bronfman. Now, listen, billionaires run in the same circle. There they are together. And to Parlato's credit, I mean, he has an extensive amount of pictures. I mean, you just keep looking. He's got a killer amount of pictures. You get down to Allison Mack in here. This is Kristen Kruick, and this is the emissary for the Dalai Lama. Now, check it out. He thinks that, first of all, he reports in this one there's a good chance that Branson did attend classes, and they were trying to recruit him. It doesn't look like they did recruit him, as far as I can tell. But once again, you know, there is a real connection there. That's the kind of rollers these people were with. This is why they were able to recruit Hollywood celebrities, et cetera, et cetera. And now moving on to Hollywood, you knew it couldn't last. Lifetime is now.
I'm Chris Killian, and first
sorry, I hate those autoplays. Lifetime has cast the fictional version of Allison Mack in the NXIVM movie. They also cast Raniere, I think, too. But yeah, it's in the works. I give it 6 months before we get the Lifetime version of the NXIVM case. Listen, I'm going to watch it just because I kind of have to, but expect a complete and total whitewash of Claire Bronfman's involvement, the possibility of Sarah Bronfman's involvement, the involvement of Hillary Clinton, Edgar Bronfman's connections to the Clintons, etc., etc., etc. Don't expect a lot of rainbow cultural garden talk. The preschools they were running, 11 around the world. And remember, the teachers at those organizations were women, young women from other countries that Claire Bronfman is alleged to have gotten illegal visas for that were teaching toddlers. And those women were being used as what? Sex toys by Raniere and others. So, yeah, Hollywood, great. So there's also going to be a lot of documentaries coming out. I know that HBO is doing one, but get ready. Discovery's about to air a 2-hour special. And I think there is obviously a lot more to come out about this. In fact, I'm just going to jump to this one and go back to the next one in a minute. Because there's a new woman I'd never heard of. Her name is Naomi Gibson. She hasn't done a lot in Hollywood, but she does have an IMDb page, okay? She's in just a few little things. But she just told her story out in the UK for the very first time. So this is a woman I was not aware of. Is it down in the bottom where she's at? I think that this is, yes, this is the NXIVM case. So I don't know they even show a picture of her. But Naomi Gibson's her name. She's starting to tell her story. Again, there's a lot of stories to be told about this organization. And Nancy Salzman here, one of the founding members of this organization, has to keep curfew, will remain on the ankle bracelet. And remember, after Nancy Salzman was in a sexual relationship with Keith Raniere, so was her daughter, Lauren Salzman. And Lauren Salzman is the one who kept 2 separate Mexican national women basically held hostage in a room for almost 2 years. And their third sister was the girl who at 15 at the time was in a sexual relationship with Raniere. These are nightmares that were realities, and they rubbed elbows with billionaires because Claire and Sarah Bronfman were billionaires. That's what they were. And they had a lot of influence. And according to, again, Frank, at the end of the month in June, Bronfman is still meeting with these people. Okay, so we'll find out in September. I think it's September 25th, right here. What the sentencing is going to be like for at least Raniere. I'm not sure what it's going to be like for everybody else, but we're hoping and praying, and we're already upset that Bronfman is not getting more time. I hope there are more charges. I hope that we're going to be seeing an expansion now that this Epstein case is out in the public. Maybe they're really doing it. Maybe they're really going after these guys. And guys, I want to thank you all for the support. If you don't know, now you do. Please become a member of the Burmese Brigade. Subscribe. We're doing 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 7 videos a day. We did one about the Grove. We did one about ACR and Android phones spying on you. A lot of Acosta coverage. A lot of Epstein coverage. The truth about the relationships of Bill Clinton and Trump to Jeffrey Epstein. No spin here. Brexit. AMAs with Dylan Avery. Yes, Dylan Avery, who I did loose change with. That's right. We've done a couple of those in the past month. All the Dershowitz you can handle, Assange, and so much more. We cover real news here. It's no bullshit. It's not left or right. It's right and wrong. Partisan politics is an illusion. Most people don't understand that, but we don't play team politics. This isn't basketball or baseball. This is real life, real decisions, real policies, things that actually affect you and I, period, and our families, our friends, and the culture around us. So please, guys, thumbs this video up, share it with other people, and if you can, I'm doing this one way, and I'm 4/5 of the way there. I'm 4/5 through to it's 24 days in. Thank you all that have supported me through the GoFundMe. $1, $5, guys. It all makes so much more of a difference, so I can pump out 30 to 50 videos like this a week. We will be back later with some big updates on the Epstein case and much more. Thanks, and I'll see you on the flip.